Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Detect Pro from SharkNinja, a cordless vacuum cleaner full of tech. Let's find out more. Before we jump into the review, two quick notes. The first one, the Shark Detect Pro, comes in two different models or versions. There's one which is the vacuum cleaner by itself, but there's another version, which is the one that I have, that comes with a base or a docking station that charges the vacuum cleaner when you place it on it, but also has a self-emptying function whereby it empties the dustbin on the vacuum cleaner into a 2-liter container on the base itself. Now, as far as I can tell, the vacuum cleaner itself is identical on both models, with the exception of what appears to be a smaller battery on the vacuum itself. So if you buy the vacuum itself without the docking station, it would appear that the battery that you get is smaller. And if you look at the product pages on the Shark website of both, it's not specifically mentioned, but if you look closely, the runtime of the battery on the model that is just the vacuum cleaner is rated at 40 minutes, whereas the model that comes with the docking station is rated at 60 minutes. I don't really understand why the battery would be smaller on the version without the docking station, but that aside, everything else appears to be identical. So whatever I say about the vacuum cleaner itself applies to both models. The second disclaimer or note that I want to mention is that I have the European version of this, which, as far as I can tell, has one difference, and that is a flex wand. That is, the vacuum can flex to go under furniture. As far as I can tell, the models sold in the US do not have that. I did reach out to SharkNinja to confirm this, but also to ask if they have plans to sell the flex wand in the US market, or even the flex wand itself as an accessory, which you can potentially buy to upgrade your machine. I will update the description or the comments when I hear back from them. Having said that, let's jump into the review. And let me start with the technology in the Shark Detect Pro. This comes with 4 technologies. The first one is Dirt Detect. And what that does, it boosts the suction power when dirt is detected. This is something we're seeing more and more with manufacturers, and it makes sense. There's no reason for your vacuum cleaner to be running at full power all the time. You'd be better off if it ran at full power when you needed it to, and at normal or eco mode in all other cases, thus by giving you more runtime. And in this case, this is exactly what it does. It's running at low power mode, but then if it detects any dust or debris, it kicks into full power or max mode to make sure that it's getting all that dust or debris. The second technology is Floor Detect, and this one detects the floor type, more so if you are on hardwood floor or on a carpet. And what happens when it detects carpeted surface, it doubles the RPM of the brush. And this part is interesting. With most manufacturers, usually it's the suction power that is varied. In this case with the Shark, it's both the suction power but also the RPM, or rounds per minute, of the brush. That is, the brush starts turning twice as fast to make sure it gets into the carpet fibers and sucks out anything that's there. The third technology is Edge Detect, and what this one does, there are sensors on both sides of the cleaning head, and whenever you're running the vacuum cleaner close to an edge or a baseboard, it detects that and it doubles the suction, making it easier for it to clean around the edges. And the fourth technology is Light Detect. There are LED lights along the cleaning head that are always on. However, if you go into a dark room or under a bed or a coffee table and it's darker, there's a light sensor on the vacuum head, and it increases the brightness of the LEDs to let you see what you are cleaning. And the vacuum has 3 different modes. There's Eco mode, which is the lowest power and the longest runtime. There is Max mode, which is the maximum power, of course, lowest runtime. And then there's Auto mode, which is the most interesting mode, and this is where all those technologies kick in. It's running at low power, but if it detects any debris or dust, it kicks into maximum power. The nice thing about this is that there's a colored LED ring on the display, but also on the cleaning head itself, which tells you what the vacuum is doing. So when it is blue in color, it means there it's clean, and when it goes into red, it means there's a huge amount of debris, and this is where it's kicking into maximum mode. If it goes into orange, it means debris is being cleaned. It also comes with a no hair wrap multi-surface brush roll, and if you look into the cleaning head, you see those kind of like teeth that help detangle hair so that you don't get any hair wrap on the brush roll. And to be honest, I've been using this for a couple of weeks and I can say it actually works. I haven't seen yet any hair that is tangled on the hairbrush. Now granted, I don't have pets, so if you do, You might have a different experience, but normally with my other vacuum cleaners, I do see hair that is tangled, but not with this one. And for the most part, Dirt Detect works quite well. It's quite responsive, so as soon as I see any visible dirt or debris on the floor, I can already hear the machine kicking into higher power, and I can see the ring that's turning into orange or red. So does Edge Detect. Anytime I'm next to any edge or baseboard, I can hear the machine kicking into higher mode. But also, and this is also a nice attention to detail, the LED lights on the side of the edge that you're cleaning shine much brighter to illuminate that area. Now, speaking of the LEDs, the light detect does work. The light sensor works quite well. It does light up when it's a dimly lit room, which is nice to have, and it does let you see a little bit more. However, it's not as effective as the laser the likes of the Dyson have that eliminate the dust on the floor. So while the lights do work and do let you see more with whatever you're cleaning, they're nowhere near as effective as a laser on the likes of Dyson that actually light up any dust on the floor, which are otherwise very hard to see with your naked eye. In terms of battery life, this one is interesting. If you go on the Shark website, it is rated at 60 minutes. However, there's a little asterisk next to that. And if you dig deep enough, you'll see what that asterisk means. And they've actually tested 60 minutes in eco mode, which is understandable, but without a motorized head attached, which is kind of ridiculous. That means they detach the head or attach an accessory, which is ridiculous. No one's gonna clean their entire house or spend 60 minutes cleaning without the motorized head, and primarily you're using this to clean your floors and you're gonna have the motorized head attached. So I thought that was a bit misleading. Now, I was curious what the performance was like with the motorized head on, so I ran battery test, charged it completely and ran a timer. In eco mode with the motorized head, I was able to get a little less than 38 minutes, which is okay. However, the disappointing part, on max mode, I got around 11 minutes only, which is on the low end of things. Now, granted, there's no reason for you to be in max mode for prolonged periods of time, but this means in auto mode, you're probably going to be somewhere between those two ranges of 11 to 40 minutes, depending on how dirty whatever you're cleaning is and how many times the vacuum kicks into max power. One good thing about the battery, however, is that it's removable, and that's really good for two reasons. The first one, if you don't get enough runtime out of this, you can in theory purchase more battery units, and it's very easy to swap them out. But more importantly, batteries degrade over time. It's just chemistry, it's inevitable. And with a lot of vacuum cleaners, it's not user serviceable, or it's quite difficult to replace the battery, which means when the battery starts degrading, you might need to replace your entire vacuum cleaner, which is an unneeded cost, but also bad for the environment. With the Shark Ninja, with the press of a button, you can remove the battery, get another one, replace it quite easily, and I'm very happy with that. The vacuum has HEPA filtration, so it traps 99.97% of dust allergens down to 0.3 microns, which is great if you have allergies or any respiratory conditions. And the Flex Wand, which again, as far as I can tell, is only on the European version, but I will update the comments if Shark gets back to me for the US market, is quite handy to have. And the way it works, there's a button that you push over here, which lets you go quite low to be able to go under furniture. And to be honest, I really like that option. It makes going under furniture, coffee tables, beds and whatnot much easier. There is a slight disadvantage to that. If you're using it in the locked position, so in the upright position, it does have a bit of flex, especially if you are vacuuming a carpet. The suction power is quite high, so the head is glued to the floor. And if you're vacuuming a thick carpet like I was, you can feel the vacuum flexing as you go forward and backward, which is not a deal breaker, but I wasn't very happy or confident in that flex. And lastly, the docking station, the base, and I absolutely love that. The way it works, you dock the station, it charges the battery, and it empties the dustbin automatically, which is really nice to have. You can empty the dustbin manually if you want to do, and that's quite easy. There's just that button that you press and it pops open. And if you get the model without the charging base, this is how you would be emptying the vacuum cleaner. But for me, there are two advantages for having the charging station. The first one, of course, is the auto-emptying. The vacuum dustbin itself is somewhat on the smaller side of things. And with the self-emptying charging base, you have a 2-liter dustbin, which is going to last you over a month and a half. So it's more convenient, but also, and for me more importantly, all you have to do is dock the vacuum cleaner and it's going to charge. And it's ready for you to pick up whenever you need to clean, and it's always fully charged. I like not having to plug in the vacuum cleaner or charge the battery manually every single time. It's so convenient to just place it on that dock and it charges itself. And another benefit is the fact that this is self-standing. There's no need to drill any holes. You just place it anywhere near an electric outlet, and that's that. So as I said, as soon as you dock, the vacuum cleaner automatically empties the dustbin, which makes a bit of noise. But what if you decide to dock the station late at night and you don't want to wake up your partner? Well, they've thought of that, and there's a night mode or a silent button on the base itself, which you can press. And when you do that, docking the vacuum will only charge it, but not self-empty. Nice thinking. The last thing I want to say about the base, which is something I absolutely love and it's not something I see quite often, is the fact that it is bagless. With a lot of these self-emptying stations, whether they're on cordless stick vacuums or on vacuum robots, there's usually a dust bag that you have to replace every 30 or 45 days. With the Shark, there's no dust bag, it's just the bin itself, and emptying it is very easy. Just press that button, a latch opens wide, and you just empty. Less consumables, less running costs, and better for the environment. I never understood why manufacturers don't do that, so I was very happy to see that Shark actually does that. And there's HEPA filtration down there as well, so even without a bag, there's no dust that's coming into the air. Everything is airtight and stored in that bin. Now let's talk about the cleaning performance, and I was generally very happy with the cleaning performance. I did a couple of tests, first on hardwood floors. I put some rice and some ground coffee, which I ground quite finely, and with one pass it got everything out. Just for the fun of it, I put some cereal on the floor. This was Nesquik, so the balls are quite large. I was curious to see if the cleaning head has enough clearance to pick them up. There, it did not do a great job. While the head has enough clearance to suck them, the rotating brush just started shooting them left and right. So that test didn't go that well, but I'm not sure if it would with most other vacuum cleaners. In the case where you have large debris like that, what you can do is just detach the cleaning head and just suck them out like this quite easily. Now, I did the same tests on a very thick and fluffy carpet. Starting off with the cereal, the density of the carpet fibers meant that the cereal did not shoot left and right, which was good. It stayed in place, but the vacuum head was pushing most of them forward rather than sucking them. But I found a nifty trick here. If you go backwards, the head is not going to push them, and then I was able to suck almost all of them out. With the rice, I was curious to see how much of the rice it's going to pick up, so I actually measured 50 grams of rice and scattered them over the very thick and fluffy carpet and ran the vacuum over them, and then I emptied the dustbin myself and measured how much it picked up, and as you can see, it picked up almost all of the rice, so close to 50 grams. With the finely ground coffee, it easily got them all out, but as you can see in the video, it did leave some traces, which I could not get out no matter what I tried. I removed the motorized head. I used another vacuum cleaner. There was just no way to get them out. I think it kind of stained the fabric. Eventually, the only way I could get them out was by getting my carpet cleaner, which actually uses soap and water, and a very thick bristled brush to agitate the fibers of the carpet and suck everything out. But generally, I was quite happy with the performance of the Shark Detect Pro, which brings me to my final thoughts and conclusions. If I would recommend this, and I definitely would, especially given the value for money and the price of this and what you get in return. With the docking station, it's $450, but I've seen it a couple of times on sale on Amazon, ranging between $350 and $400, which I think is a steal for the amount of technology that you get in this and the performance. If you get it without the self-empty charging base, it's for about $380, but again, I've seen it go on sale for much less, as low as to $80. I will put links in the description, so make sure you check the links out to see the latest price at the time of this review. But yeah, I've been using this for a couple of weeks and I absolutely love it. It is quite lightweight. It's really easy to navigate and maneuver. The suction is great and the self-emptying station is really convenient to have. The fact that there's a removable battery is a great plus. And of course, most importantly, the suction is great and the technologies like Dirt Detect and Floor Detect work quite well. The build quality is solid, and with the European version, the flex mode is really convenient and really nice to have. But the only things I did not like were that flex in the upright position, especially when you are in carpeted surfaces. Now, if you have the non-flex one version of this, then obviously this is irrelevant. There's also limited accessories that come with this, at least with the version that I have. It came with only one crevice tool, which also has a brush. I would have liked a little bit more accessories, and the crevice tool, I thought it was too narrow, so I wasn't too happy with the accessories. And lastly, the battery life, although for the size of my apartment it's fine, I would have liked a slightly more battery life. But beyond that, I thought this was completely fantastic, especially for the price. Again, I'll put links in the description, so make sure to check these out to see the price at the moment you're watching this. And one last thing, if you do decide to purchase this, I would appreciate if you would use the links that I put. These are affiliate links, and I could potentially earn a small commission on these purchases at no extra cost to you. This would greatly help support the channel and support me in continuing to produce such content. That's all for now. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And as always, if you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, cheers.